Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. Now remember, it's Tobago Thursday and we are still in the Sister Isle because we're going to be talking about Tobago Carnival, which is now just over a month away. And so we're talking to the political leader of the Unity of the People, Nickocy Phillips, about some of the issues with Tobago Carnival. Nickocy, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on Now.
Hi, good morning. Good morning again to you. Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago, and happy belated independence. Good morning.
Of course, happy belated independence to you as well. How is Tobago this morning?
Well, I'm in Trinidad, unfortunately. I'm still in Trinidad.
Why you say
Getting over the
unfortunately? Not cool,
independence
not
fever.
good, Nickocy, not good. Unfortunately, you're in Trinidad.
No, well, see, I'm getting over the independence fever, and it's my first year as a political leader in the independence itself.
Yes.
And it was really amazing. So I just couldn't go back to Trinidad. I had to stay and, end it off with the fireworks, which finished after 10 last night, which was really great and amazing. So it was a great production by the government this year, and I
Nice.
welcome the initiative so far. Thank you.
Nice. Well, Nickocy, we're going to jump back to Tobago Carnival. I know that you were mentioning there might be some issues. You were talking about the carnival events. I mean, what sort of challenges do you see thus far?
Well, so far, what would have happened? I think some weeks ago, I would have launched the Tobago Carnival, a Carnicopia Carnival and mass production competition. And it's because that some of the mass bands and the Calypsonians would have reached out to me in a first meeting when I had with the minority leader. And we listened to their challenges, and we even asked them to have a meeting and list all the issues and call upon the Secretary of Tourism and them, the chief secretary, to deal with the issues. And to this day, that has not happened. We had a second meeting where they invited me as the ambassador for TT Youthful Rights, and I would have launched a proposal with them to kind of assist them with the challenges that they're having. And the name of the event was Carnicopia, Carnival Mass, and Calypso Monarch Competition. This is to aid what was left out of the actual carnival, because we cannot have the word carnival and there's no kind of calypso competition or mass competition, notwithstanding that these mass people, they're not getting funding, and they want them to do a production that they have been shut down for 2 years for the COVID, no funding, no grant, nothing at all. What is happening in Tobago, and a lot of people don't want to say, but I am just going to be straight out. There's a lot of rubbing shoulders going on. A lot of the production and the mass bands that have been going on and advertising is the ones that they're rubbing shoulders and getting over there. I'm saying it plain. I don't hold back. And a lot of the mass bands who actually been there for years, who have good production to give the real carnival, they are with the program, because up to yesterday we had a little online meeting and they still want the event that I'm doing. I would have reached out to the Secretary of Tourism along with the Chief Sec and the minority leader with the proposal. And so far I've got a shutdown from the Secretary of Tourism. And I find it was very disrespectful because it's the third time I'm dropping a proposal to her, and she keeps on shutting down my proposal. And I know it's a political bias and also a bias on her point. But at the
Now,
end of the day, I
Nickocy,
have to
I'm
do
going to
what I'm
jump in.
supposed to do.
I'm going to jump in here quickly. So, two things that you're mentioning. You're saying that you are having an event that you want to get passed
Mm-hmm.
because it seems to be culturally relevant and that sort of thing, but it's not getting
Mm-hmm.
accepted. What is it about your event that you're hoping is actually going to be this amazing or significant event in Tobago lineup of events for Tobago Carnival?
Well, the event is going to be the week before, which is the 21st, which is the
Mm-hmm.
Friday where there's nothing, because the panorama, they have a pan festival or something on the Saturday. What is significant about this event? It speaks to the Calypsonians on the island of Tobago. It speaks to the mass band on the mass band and the production. In the event, this event, we're going to have King and Queens all mass production competition. We're going to have junior king, queens, and individual of mass, senior king, queen, and individual of mass. We're going to have a good racing exhibition because we're looking to try to keep it at the Buko Integrated Facility. We're going to have a Calypso Monarch competition, an extempo competition, and we're going to have door prizes. What is significant about it is that, yes, they say they don't want to do a replica of Trinidad Carnival, But at the end of the day, when you speak about Carnival and you talk about the culture and the diversity of Tobago, that wearing half naked costumes and having an event like a list of calendar events with 30 parties does not represent the imagery of what Carnival used to be about Tobago. So
Right.
in this event, Cornucopia Mass Production, it is going to give back the prizes, and this prize structure in this competition is going to give the Calypsonians some money in their pocket. It's going to give the mass band some money in their pocket instead of just giving them money for grants and just putting on a show. This
Now,
is a show that
Nickocy,
will actually give back to the people of Tobago to
right,
let them come and sit down and see. Because remember, we have senior citizens who wouldn't go to a Juvial or a mud band. They
of
would
course.
want to see, okay,
Now,
what the
of
mass
course.
cry is about.
Now, you would have
Yeah, so
mentioned
this
as
is what we're
well
trying to
that you would
do.
have, Nickocy, you'd have mentioned as well that you would have sent a proposal. I'm just wondering the
Yeah.
timing of the proposal that was sent. Was it sent early to be considered? Was it sent a bit late? And of
Well,
course, what is the latest update on that event?
the proposal was sent during the back and forth with the mass banners. I don't know if you had an interview. You saw an interview with the Mr. Ainsley King speaking out and said he has been left out of the calypso and the planning, and he doesn't know anything. It was just about 3 weeks before that. I think last month. It was something that I put together because of the community lack of communication with the mass band leaders and the thing. So even though it was late or not, we still had time. We had enough time for them to get it, because if they can just send somebody to Grenada, and up to now in Tobago, we haven't heard what the Grenada trip benefited Tobago. In regards to the timing of it, I think we could have still had a dialogue. The Secretary of Tourism could have said, okay, let us have a dialogue and see where we can assist you still and have this event on, because it speaks to Carnival.
Of
The
course.
last question, I didn't get the last question you said.
No, I was asking about the latest updates. So the last thing I heard was that you would have submitted a proposal time and time
Right,
again. So is it
right.
that it's not going to be included in the calendar of events? Because I know that they would have posted exactly what is supposed to be happening. So is it that this event is going to be left out of the calendar?
Well, it's going to be left out of the THA event, as they mentioned. Only THA is going to handle like carnival events. So I'm going to be like a private promoter and try to promote this event as much as possible, and do it for the people of Tobago, the right thinking people of Tobago.
Right.
So I would have sent out letters to sponsors. I'm waiting on responses. I sent it also to NCC. What I'm going to do also, we're going to bring some of the bands who are left out, and the bands who have to do their mass production and not getting any persons as yet. I am bringing them to Trinidad for a weekend, and we're going to be doing a road show where we could take registration from persons to come to Tobago who want to join bands, let them see the pieces of the bands in Tobago. So what I'm doing, we haven't got any word on approval for funding as yet, but I'm still pushing. I sent to some sponsors, and we are waiting the response, and
Right.
we are trying to push the show. I'm working alongside some of the mass band persons and the Calypsonians. I am going to have a meeting with them in the next 2 weeks with one of the honorable ministers to see how best we can get some assistance, to let them hear what we have to offer and see how best we could get the help. So because the
Of
show is
course.
not, everything is there. The proposal speaks for itself.
Yes.
Everything is there. It's just to get funding to get the proposal on point.
Of
Even though
course.
it's supported by the THA or not, I'm going to try my utmost best to do what is right for the mass band leaders and the Calypsonians that have been left out, to put on a production for the right thinking people of Tobago and our Trinidadian counterparts who will be coming to Tobago.
Now, Nkosi, earlier you would have also mentioned, is it robbing you said, or is it rubbish that you said? I don't want to misquote you, but
No,
you were
no,
saying
not
that what it
rubbing,
is they
like
are
rubbing shoulders,
offering.
but
So you're
yeah,
saying that what it
rubbing
is
shoulder,
offering, it is
RUBB.
right. And so I'm wondering what is the difference to what they are offering and to what you think is not culturally relevant?
Okay. When you look at the views on social media in regards to one, you're seeing a list of calendar events and you're seeing 30 parties. It could be 20 or 30 parties. You just have this small slot for um, the pan on the Saturday. And if I didn't talk on the first time, the pan would not have gotten any funding. And it's just what the day when they have the meeting with the pan, they call them and tell them they're going to give them a little grant just because I spoke out on TV. And then after that, now I just see that they now want to have a meeting with the mass band to have a registration now, and some of the people didn't even know about it. Um, when I mean rubbing shoulders, you are seeing just certain bands are getting the attention, and you're seeing a lot of them are getting the promotion, right? The bands that I'm seeing in on social media, you're seeing these women half naked, and the costuming is not costume that yes, we know Trinidad had that, some of those kind of costume, but it doesn't speak when you talk about the culture of Tobago, all
Right.
mass, Moko Jumbi, and these things, different levels of things used to speak to Tobago. And when you live in other Calypso competition, we have Calypsonians over here. As I said, you have to create a carnival environment for both the young and the old. You cannot have a mass band production, a parade of bands on a Sunday when the Trinidadians going back to Trinidad.
On a
Does
Sunday.
that make
Yeah.
sense? So
Right.
what is
No.
this event will speak for the younger generation and the older generation who wants to come out and sit down and to hear the Calypsonians, hear the extempo. What I'm trying to do is create a Dimash Grand Trinidad. So
Of
on
course,
that
and
event, you will have
yeah, and I'm actually also hearing that what you're trying to create is something all inclusive, and so we appreciate that. But we're going to have to put a pause in the conversation because unfortunately we are out of time. But Nickocy, let me just thank you
okay, no
so much
problem.
for coming on the Now Morning Show. I hope that everything works out with your event. I know that you're very passionate about it, and I hope that it can still happen. So all the best to you, and of course that event that you have coming up, showcasing the Calypsonians and the culture and all that good stuff. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. And we are calling on our Trinidadian family. Come across to Tobago, enjoy this carnival, be safe, and let's all work together. Let's make this event a success. Thank you
Of
so much,
course.
CDT, for having me, and you have a wonderful morning.
You too, Nickocy. And that was the political leader of the Unity of the People, Nickocy Phillips, just sharing some concerns he has, of course, about the cultural significance of Tobago Carnival. You're on the Now Morning Show. We're going to take a break. We are also to the end, but we have more. Stay with us.